personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome to Soul Care with your host, Lori Vassi, where healing meets the heart. This show dives into all things wellness, from holistic and spiritual healing to expert insights on health and self-care. Get ready for meaningful conversations, special guests, and inspiration for your journey to well-being. If you have any questions about home health care or want to continue the conversation, contact Lori today at 561-821-5811 or visit sunshinehomecareservices.com. Let's begin.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode with Soul Care, where we explore beautiful conversations with beautiful people, aging with dignity, and as well inviting beautiful people to educate us more in what we do. As you know, my name is Lori Vassi. I'm the founder and the owner of Sunshine Home Care Services, which is a non-medical in-home care. And we provide over 39 services, in-home services. Every other Thursday, every Thursday night at 7:30, we invite beautiful people to explore and educate you in about getting and aging better with dignity, and as well living a compassionate life. Tonight, I have a very special friend and a very dear friend. Not only that she is a friend of mine, she's actually a friend of mine that educates me. Every time we get a chance, we speak business. And why we speak business? Because we always need to prepare. We need to prepare in how to age well and how to be there for our loved ones, and not only. I find it very fascinating that most of us, we take everything for granted and we leave everything for last moment. But Lucie Garner today, who is a dear friend, an Eastern European friend of mine that I met through the BNI group, the BNI elite chapter that I adore, with our friend Jerry and our friends Gary, and we are so excited today to actually do this podcast together, our radio show together. So Lucie's journey started back in Czech Republic, as I'm Hungarian, so we are neighbors. We almost speak the same language. And she moved to Italy, and then she crossed the ocean all the way to the United States and started a dedication in her insurance industry. What we learned in the United States, the most important topic is insurance. And we want to make sure that we are prepared and we know how to age well and smart. So tonight we are going to explore a couple of subjects, a couple of topics that I myself am very interested in. I'm very intrigued. Every time we sit down for a glass of wine, I am a sponge for all her beautiful, information that she shares, and all her passion for what she does. So Lucie, I'm very excited to have you today. Very excited. So let's start. What made you choose what you do today, and how and why did you choose the healthcare industry, the insurance industry?
Well, thank you, Lori, for having me. I am so honored to be part of this. And to answer your question, I actually did not want to be a health insurance agent in the first place. I studied physical therapy in Czech Republic. I wanted to be a doctor when I was a child, but I always had passion to help people. When I moved from Czech Republic to Italy and then in the United States, I was a military spouse. So I really didn't have that approach and I didn't have that knowledge of how health insurance or life insurance works in the United States. Because to be honest with you, I didn't even know how it works in Europe.
It's so different.
It is different. So as I moved to the United States and my husband was constantly deployed, I pursued my education in the medical field.
Amazing.
Again, I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just signed up for health, programs, and then I pretty much like chose to do just a broad health science degree, and then I actually wanted to be an anesthesiologist.
Wow.
Yeah, that didn't happen because when I actually moved to New York, I chose to pursue that education, or become a anesthesiologist. And for that reason, when my husband was stationed in Georgia, this is where I finished all those degrees. I got those degrees, and at the same time, I was just looking for something in between because the new classes started in September. So what I did was I just answered a Craigslist
Oh my God.
announcement that they're
Amazing.
looking for health insurance agent. I'm like, okay, let's just do this. Let's just try.
But isn't
So-
it this actually is not it's not a job. You have to be dedicated. You have to love what you do, because offering an insurance and helping someone is so personal that is really not it's not a job. It becomes something super personal. I learned that through what I do and what I meet with insurance people, and you are my special friend that you are so dedicated, so passionate. It is so different when you see someone that you have not only the amazing package of knowledge, you also have that passion that is so unique. And you always explain things so well that we actually have an understanding why it should be done this way. So you have such a unique journey. And when you traveled from, Czech Republic into United States, so what experience teaches you about the resilience of adapting into a different country, and what has stayed? When I'm thinking about my story and how I traveled the world, I lived in India, I lived in Asia, I lived in Europe, I lived around the world. But for me, the resilience in me and what I wanted to do, it was always a very deep understanding that this is going to be a journey one day, and I will be taking care of seniors. I am so passionate, and I know this is what I found in you. When I met you first time, it's like this is what I see in Lucie as well, that she's someone that she's not doing it for a living. She's doing it because she loves it.
Yes, you're right. So, starting from when I was a kid, I absolutely adored older people. It sounds horrible, but, I always loved that wisdom. I loved the class. And, as we all know, as you age, you become lonelier and you don't know anything, what you should know. So when I first got to the United States, and I found that the healthcare is really messed up, one. Two, how you can help people with health insurance if you're not passionate about it. Like, you have to educate them. You have to put your time. You have to put more time. It's not just money. People don't know things, not just in healthcare, like in general. But, I found that many agents, they want to sell, if I want to say, right? Like, they want a paycheck. I didn't need a paycheck. I was established. I was a military spouse. We have that paycheck every week. So I was not seeking income. I was seeking helping other people. And when because I had some classes in school about health insurance, but it was just like a broad information. So when I actually started being an agent, I figured that, okay, I don't understand myself, what I'm actually doing. So I had to educate myself. Then I found out when I spoke to people that they had absolutely no idea what they're buying or what they're having, what it's covering and stuff. So I placed that as a number one thing. When I'm going to be a health insurance agent, I am going to tell everybody how it works first, so they know what they're getting and what they're paying for.
Exactly. For me, the most important thing in life is to have a proper insurance, to be prepared to age well, because actually it became more like, it gives me more anxiety thinking of it and aging, because the prices of everything and the cost of living have changed so much, and the bills, hospital bills, and getting a prescription done, it's insane. So when it comes to being prepared, unless you have the knowledge what suits you and what is right for you, you don't really know what to choose. And this is where you come in. So what inspired you to transition from not only anesthesiologist, but you did physical therapy as well, and you dived in this insurance world, and you said you're very passionate, and I believe helping people, but what else really made you make this change and you decide that this is what you want to do and continue, because it's been quite a while you've been doing it. And I know for sure that there are those days where you feel like, you know what, why did I choose? Same like everybody else. But you are resilient. You are steady in your, deliveries and the way you help people. It's always consistent. It's always 100% or nothing. And this is what I like about you. There is no in between. So I want to know what kept you going and how did you decided to stay in this business?
Yeah, so number one thing I'm going to answer is that I figured out that in the United States, to become a doctor or anesthesiologist assistant or anything in that matter, you have to work constantly. You are not free, right? Like you have to
Responsibilities.
work, like
You have to
from,
be-
let's say 9 to 5, and even after 5, you're constantly working. So when I thought about it, I said, okay, this is not what I really want. So with the health insurance, taking care of my twin boys when my husband was deployed, it was not an option to work, steady hours. Like I had to have a freedom to take them somewhere, whether it was school or it was sports. So number one thing was the freedom that I can work from home, right? Number two thing was, as I mentioned earlier, that the education of people, like to know what they need, because it's not one size fits all. A 20-year-old needs less coverage than, let's say, a 64-year-old, right? And now we have other things in the United States in the healthcare industry. You have multiple carriers, you have multiple spheres or where you can place them, whether it's a private insurance, it's a public insurance, it's a Medicaid, it's in Medicare. Like people still mistake these terms. So I think what made me to love my job even more is that I can educate people about where they actually belong and what they should actually get and use if they're paying for it.
Absolutely. It's so incredible listening to you, because this is, I deal with insurances and I deal with seniors and I deal with people and the family of the seniors. And we have conversations, and even being as educated as you can be, there are so many questions always about insurance. What are my rights? And how am I going to navigate through this? And even though when everything is right, there's something that it has to be going wrong. And that is where you are coming in and you're helping us out. We also want to find out how is being a military spouse influence your approach to this life. And I totally get it, that the freedom of working from home and helping people on your own pace. What I love about you is that you take your time with every client, and that's the freedom of doing it on your own pace. And being a military spouse, that really influenced you to do it on your own pace, isn't it?
It is. And honestly, like I said earlier, like money was not my main goal to be in this. I love to not only educate, I just love to build relationships with my clients. And I feel like, I know I'm not getting paid for certain things. I am not an hour, like I charge people per hour. Like it's not even allowed as a health insurance agent. But I found that when I will build that relationship first, I will receive more, whether I'm getting paid at that time or not, because I am 100% referral based. And I've been in this industry for 7 years. Like it took me a longer time than, let's say, people who have a call center and they call, but they don't have that relationship. Meaning, yes, they get the business, they get the money, but where is the consistency? Where is that persistence? Like where is something?
The personal touch as well. You
Correct.
get to know the client while you're taking your time, and you get to resource and actually troubleshoot all
Right.
on a very good.
And that's, I think that's what I learned in the military, right? I was constantly by myself. I wanted to be a part of the community, but that's what, you have to do. You have to get out there and you have to be personal. You have to make that relationship work. So that resilience, I kind of transferred to my business where.
And it's your own business.
It's my business. You got to treat it as a baby. Like you have to make that connection with these people first, and then, maybe not, it will become a business to you. But I don't care about that. I care.
would love to hear more, and we're going to take a commercial break because I want to hear about how it's to be a twin mother and how do you navigate through everything that comes with it and being so focused on your business, which I absolutely admire. And we'll be right back after the commercial break, and we're going to hear more from Lucie Garner and her beautiful stories of being a twin mom.
Receive the very best in home care. At Sunshine Home Care Services, our mission is simple yet profound: to support and enhance the lives of our clients. We genuinely enhance the quality of life and offer a comprehensive suite of 26 services tailored to meet every need. We go beyond the basics with health monitoring, emotional support, pet care, and home safety checks. Sunshine Home Care Services is more than just a service. It's a partnership in care. We invite you to experience the difference a compassionate team can make. For a personal consultation, call us today at 561-821-5811.
Do you want the opportunity to have a TV show or podcast? Now, at Amp Media Productions, you can host your very own visual broadcast anywhere around the world. With our talented group of creators, we will provide you with show elements, board operations, and any on-screen visuals you'd like to showcase. All you must do is log onto your computer and communicate with your viewers. Contact Amp Media Productions at 866-224-5422 or email hello@amp2.tv to start your own show today.
Welcome back to Soul Care with Lori Vassi, where we explore the power of healing, mind, body, and soul. If you have any questions about home health care or want to continue the conversation, contact Lori today at 561-821-5811 or visit sunshinehomecareservices.com. Now, let's get back to the show.
I absolutely love this commercial created by my friends from AMP Media. Freddie and the team, and Dawn, they do such an amazing job. And if anyone would love to have the perfect job around commercials and radio shows, and you got to contact Freddie and Dawn. Now let's continue with our beautiful Lucie and get more educated in insurance. And let's find out how she keeps up with twin boys. Right? You have two boys.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
True.
They are 14, if I remember correctly. How do you find your balance between such a personal, work that you put in with your clients and your life as a, like a two boys mom, sports mom? I see you posting a lot of sport activities, and I cannot wait to hear all about it.
Well, first of all, when I had my kids, my husband, again, was not with me, right? So I had to figure out how to manage, not one, but two kids. And I'm a very strict mom. I'm going to say that. I'm a very strict mom. And I never had an issue with them, not listening, not, whatever. Like, we always had a structure. So I must say that my husband is a big, big supporter and is my best friend and the best partner in the entire world. So we function as partners in things that we do. So if I need to be with my clients, he's taking care of the boys. Even if they're 14, they still need something. If I need to be with boys, I ask my husband to kind of do things for me. Not that he's talking to my clients, but he's actually preparing something. So there is always that balance. But I think that time management is very important, right? So I do my schedules. I am not always on time. I'm going to say that, I'm 1-2 minutes late, but I always deliver. Like what I set for myself.
And this is my favorite thing about you.
I will always deliver.
It is 100% or nothing.
This
is how I knew
listen,
Lucie Garner.
That's
100%
one
or
thing
nothing.
that I must
in
say.
life, in insurance, in life, as a mother, as a sports mom, she will be, even if she's 1 minute late, not more than 1 minute.
Not more than
here,
2, but
and she will deliver 100%. Now I want to talk about a little bit about the education and the emotional value of the families, and what's the biggest challenge, and how do you see the families when it comes to preparation for aging, and how do you see how can you overcome those challenges? Because for me, at my age, I think the biggest challenge is to make the right decision for later on. I don't have kids, and it's just me and my husband. And, for us, most of our parents are gone, and we got to be prepared. But what's the best way, and what do you think are the biggest challenges when it comes to making the right decisions, to choose the right plans, to make, to be ready? Because most of us are not. I think it's come so fast, and it comes so abruptive, like it's almost like I'm not ready. And here you go, something happens, and we are never ready to age.
Right. And that's, I think, what many young people do not realize, that aging, not only process, but the preparation, like you say, right? First of all, many people, and I'm speaking because most of my clients say at age of 30, 40, I don't need health insurance. I don't need a life insurance. I don't need, final expense. Like, I don't need any of these things. And then they get into a car accident, and it's not age related, but it's a tragedy. And now it falls, that burden of finances or financial, expenses falls on the younger people. So I feel like when you are preparing for aging, you should always think of having a good health insurance, having a probably good life insurance, because if you pass away, now you pass that burden on your kids.
That's the biggest fear I think everyone should have.
Right, but people still do not realize that, especially when they're younger. The problem is that when you're younger, you get that insurance at a higher
price.
Not price, lower price, but higher benefit.
Higher benefits.
So what that means is that, that's probably number one thing, having a great health insurance and having, life insurance, because those are the things that complement each other, right? Whether you're 45 or you're 65 or 75.
Days go by fast.
But you never know. So that's what, and of course, you have to have an estate planning. You have to have other things that can help you with long-term care. Like, again, like, it all falls into that insurance thing, but it's not one size fits all, right?
Absolutely. So we want to learn more about the differences in public and private healthcare and insurance. We do want to learn and be aware that public insurances don't cover for what most of us need when the time comes. And what is the difference?
So that's the biggest problem in the United States. People are completely clueless. So let me tell you this, you have public and you have a private sector as far as health insurance, right? You also have group plans. So Medicare is for people 65 and over, right? This is where...
And who is entitled for Medicare?
People who are 65.
Everybody.
Everybody who turns 65. They apply, and they should apply, and they're actually required to apply for Medicare, right? Now, I am not an expert in that, but I have so many partners who are helping with that transition, because I can cover people up to 65, right? But we have spouses, we have people with disabilities who would qualify for Medicare. So for that, I have my experts throughout the United States.
It's interesting that actually I came across a lot of people that actually they just neglected. They don't I'm like, yes, everybody is entitled for it. And
it's
everybody
about
should
the
apply.
education, because look, like, people they don't know until it's the time that, they need to do that change, right? So people at 45 will not think about Medicare at all. I mean, and that's okay. But if they have that someone who prepares them, hey, once you reach that age, you reach out to me, because I know somebody who can help you with that. Medicaid is for people who are either single mothers or who have low income. This is a state-based insurance, so that's free. But you got to qualify for that. And private insurance is based on health. Public insurance is based on your income. So, it's a lot that I could discuss. I'm not going to take time, explaining these things, but I'm willing to do it if everybody's important.
It's important to reach out and always have that conversation.
Always.
It seems like in what I do in home health care, it's always, important to make the first call. It doesn't cost you anything to reach out and have a
And
conversation.
that's the problem, Lori, because people think that you have to pay something. They don't understand that our services are free. So why do you just put things on the internet, put your number in, and then you get 100% or hundreds on phone calls every single day, when you have that person right in front of you who can actually educate you for free? Take
Absolutely.
an advantage, right?
And my favorite question tonight, it's about trust and passion. I always do my homework, and I always go with people that I trust. And I believe that integrity in everything you do is the most important thing. I sleep good at night because for me, the integrity is the most important thing. But how do you describe someone who gives 100% to everything, like coming to yourself? And what is integrity means to you in relationship to work?
Look, I'm taking my clients as if they were my own family. Okay, so that's number one. I'm very transparent. I will not make things up just to make a sale. I really want my people to understand that what I'm telling them is true, that I want the best for them, not for myself. And, before I even start saying something about health insurance, I want to get my clients. I want to get to know them. I want to know about them, because at the end of the day,
That personal
I am with
relationship.
them,
Absolutely.
Like if I sell them
I
a
hear
policy,
you.
they reach out to me every single time. My phone never goes,
I'm the
silent.
same, my
So
24/7.
right. So I think that promise, being transparent, and I keep my word when I say I will do it. So again, like people, when they get with me, they will come back with me every single time, and they will refer me. So that's the best that I can do, and that's all about that integrity. Like, be trustworthy.
How can
and
people
honest.
reach out to you? We are almost done. We have just a couple of seconds more. And how can people find you? And what is your closing statement? And we want to thank you for listening today and being part of our journey and being part of Sunshine Home Care Services journey. And Lucie Garner, how can people find you?
I think the best way it is to go on my website. It's www.luciegarner.com, where they can just schedule an appointment, free appointment on my calendar. And I really appreciate you, Lori, that we met completely, like randomly through the BNI Elite. And my closing statement, guys,
Make the
health is your greatest
Absolutely.
wealth. Just take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Make the right choices, right decisions, and prepare yourself. And if anyone in need and anyone needs any in-home healthcare or insurance, you know where to find us. Thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting. This is Lori Vassi, and we're going to be together again in 2 weeks. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Soul Care. We hope today's conversation inspired you on your path to healing and wellness. Remember, true well-being starts from within. If you have any questions about home health care or want to continue the conversation, contact Lori today at 561-821-5811 or visit sunshinehomecareservices.com. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of others, and take